Hi, welcome back to Battleship Cove and Inside the History. We're here right now inside the citadel of the ship in the berthing areas, and we're about to show you something a little bit more about how this city, floating city, operates. Now, right here is a passageway going through what would be berthing spaces, because you'll find brackets for racks everywhere. But as you go through, now you have to think it's a ship. People live, eat, galleys, you feed them. But what do you do with the trash? Now, normally trash is compacted or thrown over the side, and it's biodegradable mostly. But for items that you need to destroy, or you don't want to leave a trail during time of war, you'd have an incinerator. And Battleship Massachusetts had 2 incinerators, one port, one starboard. Now they're here. We're going to go take a look inside and show you what happens with the trash. Because during time of war, you don't want to leave a trail for the enemy to follow, or any classified material or documents or paperwork, so you'd send it for burning. So in here is one of 2 incinerator rooms. There you go. Now, does this one open up? Nope, this one's shut. It's closed up tight. But as you can see, our incinerator. Now we have one port and starboard side, and it's set up in the center line of the ship. You also have ventilation coming in, so that way you don't smoke out. So you have exhaust and venting, so you can go out, and it's pressurized. So that way, anything like documents, anything that can be burned, that you don't want to leave a trail that doesn't sink, because you're a warship, you have a time of war, you don't want anybody finding the enemy finding you, you would use the incinerator. So we're going to look, this is port side, we're going to go over and take a look at the starboard side, which you can actually see inside the incinerator. So come on with me. Alrighty, now we're on the starboard side of the ship, we're on the port. So this one's a little aft, but you'd have 2 incinerators that can work at any time. Now the door's armored because this is inside the stack room, so it's kind of recessed in a protective area of the ship. As you can see, this one's been opened up. Now, as the door's open, you can see in here, get that light right in there. Turn on my flashlight so you can see. So you could see all the grades in here. So that way the grades would be preventing the trash from falling down in the ash pit. But the burners would actually be in there. Throw the trash in, out it goes, to an ash, collect it later when it's done. So here's your cover plate, and they have vent holes so you can get air in. As you can see, ventilation, so that way you're forcing air in and out through the stack. So that way you get nothing out in the living compartment. So this normally would be closed up unless in use. And if you're wondering, you're used to your house outlets. This is our outlets here on the ship. So you'd have what's called pigtails to come in here and plug in. So if you had to get a vacuum, you'd have this little cap on top of it that's watertight. Ooh, and the gasket stayed on. That's interesting. And that's been blocked off because we don't want people sticking their fingers in it, because back then, common sense, you wouldn't stick your finger in an outlet. But people not knowing from a different generation, we keep them capped and covered and plugged so that way the kids can't get too curious and hurt themselves. But the light switch, the power switch, usually has on and off as well. All right, so this room was just pretty much a ventilation system. There's nothing in here but the incinerator. So your trash, your documentations, your classified materials, anything like that, in the incinerator. Now, if you want to get rid of your trash over the side, you could do that, but you want it to sink, so you'd weigh a bag down with leftover stuff, and you would just dump it, or what we call deep six it. Send it down to King Neptune. Does like that. But anyway, the incinerator, if you didn't want to leave any traces of the fleet coming through, you'd burn your trash, or you'll hold it when you pull in the port and get rid of it. So that way you keep your ship's movement secret, because you don't want to tell the enemy where you've been, what you're going, because then they can connect the dots. So incinerator was used to get rid of trash as needed or classified material. So that's just a little part of life on a ship and things you have to do. Hope you enjoyed this little quick little information. But again, ship is a city. There's a lot to cover, and stick with us. Inside the history, we'll go take you through different parts of the ship. Today was the trash end of it. So we talked a little trash, and we'll move on to the next things. Thanks for coming to Battleship Cove. I'm your host, Tom Lowney, retired gunner's mate, and we'll hope to see you here in the future. Like, share, subscribe if you thought this is great and want to learn more. And remember, you can always come down and volunteer and help out. And hope to see you here again. Take care.